A lot of times when you're actually trying to sample something from a record and you get the sample right and you put it inside your MPC, you may have to actually either make it louder and also cut some frequencies out to get the sound that's inside the record. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take out the bass, I want to get the guitar, and we're going to show you where it's actually at. So this is the sample. It's sort of like low. I may come to here. I'm going to do normalize. So I'm going to normalize this a little bit here, and I'll press normalize. And so now we'll see here, this is normalized. That's pretty loud right there. So the sample is taken pretty low. I do this on purpose so you can at least get to see that you should probably learn how to normalize a sample. And then I'm going to come to here and sort of play it. Okay, that's a pretty loud sample now. Sounds pretty good. But the problem is, I don't want that bass. And the bass is a low end frequency thing going on, right? So what I can do is sort of get rid of the bass. And how you do this is pretty simple. But first of all, you need to know what's going on. Now, as you can probably hear, the guitar is somewhat to the left inside of this setting. And so the record has a left and a right. And back in these days, when this song was created, they panned the guitar to the left and the bass to the right a little more. So it gets a little bit of separation, and I guess the drums are in the middle, and they go on from that point. So what I want to do is sort of get the left to be stronger, and don't worry too much about the right. So I can have it here. Now this is the way it's supposed to sound. I can change it. Now watch this. So you see what happened? I added effects. I pulled the bass almost into the guitar range, and it's almost strong, but a little tinny at points because the mid range isn't strong enough there. And so let's see how this works. I'm going to go to the mixer window here. And here in my mixer window, we'll see that we have the sound which is right here. Let's bring it down some here. Okay, we got it. So you can see how that sounds. Now here's what I did. I came here with a compressor, as you can see, and so I got a threshold level about 38.5 dB. And we got a ratio of 4 to 1. That's my compression ratio. Now my output's going to be about plus 6 dB. I can bring this down too as well. And it's more of the mix of the original sound and this sound as well. Have more of the mix than anything else of the two sounds. I've got a knee about 30%. My attack is 300 milliseconds. And of course, my release point is 68.8 milliseconds. So I got a lot of attack. Now you come to here. If I want to change that, I come to here. I can see a lot of attack here. It says for drums. So I use a lot of attack that I normally would use for drums on this particular sound. I have instruments here too I could use if I wanted to, but I wanted to use this drum line of attack here. Okay, let's close this out. Now the next one's a transient here. So here I have my transient right here, and if I play it back, see my transient here, I'm not sustaining anything. So if I do, let's see what happened when I try to sustain, we get more of that bass, which I don't need. So when I go up here, I got more of the bass. Here I sort of tighten it up. I didn't want any sound to sustain. So any sound that chops in, like that when the guitar's chopping in, I'm trying to keep that going more than anything else. And of course, here's my output. And it's hard edge in the air transient. So we're just going to use these effects because if you've got other plugins that you feel are better, you can do that too. But I prefer to use these so I can see exactly what's going on, and I can teach it easier. This way you know what to do if you have a better transient or a compressor or even a parametric EQ. So here, of course, I've got the parametric EQ going on. I put a bell right around the bass to keep the bass from doing anything. So let's play this again. You can play here anything going on, right? So what I'm trying to do here is keep the low end down. You can see this here. I'm keeping the low here, the mid-low. I'm playing just this mid-high and the high. Now, it sounds almost tinny. I can bring that back once I get the sample in the range I want it to be. Then I'll sample it, and then I'll take that sample and then add that stuff back in as a different sound. But right now, I just want to make sure I get the right sound out. This will help you understand how you can just get sounds out of your record samples. Then here, let's we'll have a gate. And so my gate will open up and close. Let's play this back. Let's turn this gate off. You hear that noise in the background, so I'm trying to get out the lower frequencies. Thresholds here. Depths there. I can bring my denoiser up. I want to cut back on some of that high-end, almost ting sound. And now I got it right there. I like that right there. Let's stop this. And so now I've got the guitar where I want it. Now, I can take that also and send it out. But what I do also here, rather than send it out and try and sample that, I've got it set up here. Let's play this back, actually. So we still hear the bass line in there, but the bass line is almost in that guitar range back then. It's low, too. I can get that again. So I've got 4 effects here. I'm sending the output of this to the main program, of course, right here, which is program 1. I have more effects here. So I've got a kill EQ tied to this as well. Now if I play this without this, you hear the bass come back in. Now the bass sounds, once I apply it, the bass sounds almost guitarish and a little lower because the guitar is louder than the bass, since it's not any bass there. And also I have a maximizer here just to bring it louder for me. So when I do sample this sound, I get the effect I want, which is to get that guitar. Now if I want to go left, now you see it's even less bass. And now you can see that the left side here, or rather the right side here, is where that guitar is actually at. I go to the opposite side here. Whoops. We get more of that bass on the left. We get less bass on the right. So once I pull that sample off, I can use it. And this is just one way you can actually use your MPC software to sort of take and morph sounds into what you want them to be. I can take that sample, bring it back in, apply it to a track that someone's using, and then it makes it easier. And that's how you do it.